Hello, Catanians. What do you think about this unorthodox starting settlement placement? We're on the Treasure Islands, and I was like, let me mix it up. Let me grab the 3-for-1 port with the 4 wheat, immediately point my ship to a fog island. It's a desert hex, which is not the best, but I get to choose a progress card of my choice for it. And I was like, let me choose a green one just to see what I get, and it was road building, and that is the best setup you could ask for in the Treasure Islands, because now I could build 2 ships, and I can discover that treasure chest at the top of the desert hex, and then I can move my ships later to discover the other fog hex right next to the desert hex, and we actually have a very good starting setup here. And I chose to put my starting city on the 9-4-11 to maximize commodities. Hopefully, maybe 4s and 9s don't get rolled all that much, but if they do, then we have a very good chance of keeping our city, because if we get a 4, we get that 4 wheat, so we can activate our knight, because we start off with a sheep and an ore, as well as a lumber. So we'll see what happens there. And you see that red has a very, very good setup. They have the settlement on the coastline on the 3-6. They just need to build one more ship to discover that fog hex to the left of the 6 wheat. And then they built on the 6-9-10, so they're also heavy on the commodities with their city, their starting city. So we'll see where purple goes. And they're going to go for the 3-4-5. I had a feeling they may have gone for the 2-4-6 and kind of cut me off, because my later goal is to build a settlement, upgrade to a city on that 2-4-6, and the game blesses me with an 11 to start this game off. Wouldn't it be crazy if 11s just got rolled like 5 times in a row? But that's not meant to be, because here comes a 6. And I already know if Alchemist comes Red's way, they're going to Alchemist the 6, and I'm just going to have to watch them get a bunch of wheat, sheep, and cloth. But this road building's coming out immediately, and my salvage treasure is another progress card, so I'll choose a green one. I get printer, so there's an instant victory point, so that's cool. I was hoping for maybe another road building, but, you can't have that great of a luck, right? So we'll just keep it rolling here. I will move my ships throughout these next couple turns so I can discover that other fog hex. And if I can get another lumber, I can build another ship and then try to get all the way down to that 3rd fog hex that's on another island entirely. So as you guys know, on the Treasure Islands, if you build on a Treasure Island, you get 1 victory point for the settlement, 1 victory point for building on a new island, instead of 2 additional victory points, because that happens in... I'm trying to think of the other Seafarer scenarios. I'm blanking out. Is it the 4 island scenario? As well as... Is it Oceania? No. Maybe it's Heading for New Shores. I think it's Heading for New Shores. But this one is just 1 special victory point in addition to the settlement victory point for building on a new island. So it's kind of the name of the game on the Treasure Islands. You want to get off that main island. Maybe not as quickly as you can, but eventually you want to. But generally, anyone who does has great success throughout the game and is a contender for late game victor. As you see, red already discovered that 10 wheat, and purple is still not off the main island. Now, that's not to say that purple could be a power player late in the game, but just off of the initial impressions, it's like me and red have a good thing going. And I discover an 11 gold, so I get to choose whatever I want. So that was cool. And after that, I will move my 3rd ship and try to get... I'm going to need a 4th and a 5th ship. I'm going to need to take Longest Road in order to discover the treasure chest and that 3rd fog hex on the right of your screen, which is going to put me on everyone's radar, because I'll jump up to 6 victory points, because I got that special victory point off printer from the green progress card stack. But it's a part of the game here. Now, my other thing I'm really hoping to do is get a brick and a wheat so I can build the settlement on the 2-4-6 and have that wheat coming in, plus gain the 6 number as a hex, as a really good number, and as a 2nd wheat hex, so that when irrigation comes my way, I'll get 4 wheat off irrigation. Plus, hopefully the 6 is going to get rolled a lot with me benefiting off of it. Okay, so now it's back to me. I do have level 1 on all the different color city improvements. There goes a 7. I do get a progress card. It's medicine. That's perfect. So not only will I be protecting my city with my activated knight, but hopefully I can get another ore off the 9 and then a wheat off the 4. And I can use medicine to have a second city on the board this early in the game. So I'll trade in some wood because I have that 3-for-1 port. I'll grab the second coin and get the blue city improvements level 2. I really wanted to hold out for the settlement on the 246, but I'm like, it's going to take a long time to get a brick. Actually, no one built on brick if I'm just making this astute observation right now. All the brick hexes are at the top of your screen, the 5, 8, 10. Of course, there's some more brick that's undiscovered on the Treasure Islands, but yeah, no one has any brick except for Red just getting brick by discovering the 3, and from sometimes salvage treasure gives you a brick, a wheat, and a sheep from certain treasure chests. So brick is going to be very dry this game. So if I can manage to get just 1 to get that settlement out there, then I'll be good to go. And then I can later build on that 11 gold, hopefully get brick that way as well. Plus science bonus is going to have to play a major role if I'm going to win this game, I think. In an early on inventor, purple takes away my 3 and takes the 9, or takes away my 9, gives me a 3 instead. But a 4 gets rolled. So thankfully, I didn't take away my 4 because that's still the hot number for me because I get wheat, lumber, and paper. So I'll take that. And that brick that Red got, they do not want to trade it. So I'll go ahead and use my crane. I'll get to green city improvements level 2. And now I'm still working on getting that science bonus. I'm now just 3 short paper away, but I do need 3 4 rolls. But there goes 1 right there. And lucky Red, they got the mining. So they already had the 2-8 they needed. So they got the second city on the board already. So they have 2 6s and 2 9s that are very good, thanks to purple bringing a second 9 for purple and red to share. And the barbarians are very close. Thankfully, that 7 roll did not allow him to move the robber just yet. Because, of course, the barbarians have to invade for the first time before the robber or the pirate ship can be moved in seafarers with cities and knights. And now look at purple. They're making a move with road. They got the second road building. So I could have gotten another road building, but, the other players also had green city improvements by now. So the second road building in that stack was given out to purple instead of me, which is a bummer. But I do have medicine. But purple is getting ready to build a settlement on the 5, 6, 11, which is going to up their sheep production a lot, as well as the wheat. If 5 start getting rolled a lot, they're going to get so many wheat off that 5. And we actually get defeated, so I have to burn a city because Red had to go ahead and build a second city. So Red did the strategy that I like to do sometimes, where everyone has 1 activated knight, and you build a second city, whereas everyone else just has 1 city. And then everyone burned a city, including you, but you get to keep your other city while everyone else has just settlement. So everyone is stuck not being able to build any city improvements. You see I have 2 paper in my hand. I can't use it now. I have to work on getting the city back out on the board. So Red, very nice. Good job. I see what you're doing there. But no worries. Purple's here to help me out. In a very indirect way, I'll trade the wheat away for lumber. Now I have 3 lumber, 3 for 1 for the ore. Now I have 2 ore and a wheat. Use medicine. That city's going right back out on the board. And now I just need 1 more roll of a 4. And the science bonus is mine. And then we can really get this game going. And there's the 4 I need. So thank you for 4s being rolled, a good amount this early on. And I knew Warlord was going to take from me immediately. So Red can go ahead and activate their knight. I'll have to activate mine. I probably will want to get the settlement on the 246. Once I get science bonus, once I get a brick from science bonus, put the settlement on the 246. And then after that, I'll use science bonus again if I don't get a 4 roll or a 6 roll to get another wheat, activate my knight. Because right now I have plenty of time before the barbarians invade once again. And there goes a 12, and I just don't have the science bonus. I couldn't take a brick off of that. But that's okay because science bonus is coming in right now. We're 10 minutes in the game. We already have the science bonus. No one else has it. So having this advantage and no one else having this advantage is going to be good for as long as it lasts. Hopefully it lasts for another, 10 or 20 dice rolls, because that's going to boost me ahead. And sometimes if you have science bonus for so long without anyone else having it, then you can do so much more in the game and get that far ahead. So by the time everyone's production is ramped up, halfway to later on in the game, you've just been so far ahead that it's hard for them to catch up. Now, I do have a big interest in taking Longest Road back from red, because that's going to give me those 2 victory points I need on my way to a total of 15 victory points I think we're planning to do in this scenario. So I'll eventually look into taking the Longest Road later, but for now, I'm just worried about city improvements, a settlement, and a couple cities. And then later, I want to build some settlements on the treasure islands for those special victory points. And by building out to all the other treasure islands, I'll eventually be building up my Longest Road to eventually steal it from red. And that is the game plan here for my possible victory. So, another science bonus. I have a second wheat, so I'll go ahead and take another lumber, because now, after I activate this knight, put down that settlement, I have a big interest in building another ship to discover that third fog hex. But first, Abattoir, because I see red has 10 cards in their hand, so I want them to go down to just 5 cards, because if they don't roll a 7, they could probably do something pretty good on their turn with 10 cards, possibly even more if they roll one of their numbers on their turn. So I don't want that to happen. Regardless, they're going to be moving their ships around and discovering more, fog hexes. But if I can slow down their building up of things just a little bit, I'm going to do it. And poor purple, they're still stuck at 2 victory points, as red smartly puts the pirate ship, chases away. So they steal my knight with deserter. It's still activated. They put it right on the 6 on the coastline, chase away the pirate ship that I put there, and put it right over my area. So now even if I do get a lumber off my 4 off science bonus, I can't build the ship to discover that third hex. So now I have to wait to roll a 7 or build a knight to get that pirate ship back out of that area. So very, very smart play by red. But yeah, purple needs to get a city back on the board, or they need to build the settlement on either the 5, 6, 11 for more production, or on the 8 lumber, because of that port. And of course, it's just out of screen, so I can't see exactly what that port is. I think it might be a 3-for-1 port. So should purple take the 3-for-1 port right here, or should they go for the production for the 5, 6, 11? Maybe the port, because you want to get that city back on the board as quickly as you can. And having a better trade advantage will help you do that. Trading in all the lumber you won't be needing after you build the settlement there. And a 3-for-1 rate will be better than at a 4-for-1 rate. But there goes a 5, so instead of 3 wheat for purple, since they had to downgrade their settlement to downgrade their city to a settlement, it's just 2 wheat, but it is still 2 wheat nonetheless. And they do have a level 2 knight, so they are on track to either tie with red for Defender of Catan or get the Defender of Catan victory point. But I'm going to make sure that they get the Defender of Catan victory point, because I don't want it to go into red in case they upgrade one of their knights. Because I got Deserter, and I'm going to use Deserter on red. It would make more sense to use the Deserter on purple, because they only have one level 2 activated knight. But at the same time, I want to get that, because I know if I use it on red, red's going to give up the deactivated level 1 knight on their 6 wheat, coastline spot, and I want to get that out of there so I can put the pirate ship back in that area to prevent red from building, ships down off the 10 wheat and going to those other fog islands at the bottom of the screen right below where my progress cards are, because they'll have a quicker access that way than going all the way around that desert hex on the left of your screen. And there goes a juicy 10, which I don't have, but science bonus is always here for me. So Deserter, I'm going to use it on red, mainly because red is further ahead in victory points. And if there's even a slight chance they could get Defender of Catan, I don't want that to happen. I'm going to let the player who's way behind in last place in terms of victory points get Defender of Catan before I let the player who's leading in victory points have a chance for it. So that is why I did what I did. And I get both knights activated. So now, purple may not even get Defender Catan. We may just tie, and then we'll each get a progress card apiece. So I'm totally cool with that. Here goes another 4 at a good moment. But bishop comes in right on that 4. I knew it. And I lose the ore. Thankfully, I keep the paper. So although red gets the politics bonus, I do hold on to my 1 paper, and they don't have the science bonus for now. I'm still benefiting off that while they are still each stuck at level 2 on the Green City improvements. And the barbarians are very close to invading, so I just have to hope that red does not find a way to have a smith up their sleeve or promote their knight. But there goes another knight back out on the board. They activate it. So now it looks like everyone's going to get a progress card off of Defender of Catan. Yep, there it is. Barbarians invade. There goes, actually, wait. They got 1 more space because their red's cutting off their advancement there on the board. So I couldn't see it, but they actually have 1 more turn to invade. Will I usher them in? Yep, I will. The same exact roll, 8 with a barbarian dice roll. So once again, I still don't have an 8. I will take a green progress card, and mining was a good choice. I do have 2 ore hexes. There are 2 and a 3. They are by far from being good ore hexes, but mining will make them have some use for me. So I'll use Diplomat. I'll get rid of 1 of red ships, not to take away the longest road, but just to prevent them from building around that desert hex on their way to the other hexes. Because at this point, if I can keep red from building to those bottom 3 fog hexes long enough for maybe purple to get there, then that'll kind of even out the game a little bit better. And here we go. I discover another 4 wheat. So I got to build on that when I get a chance. And I get salvage treasure, which is the brick, sheep, and wheat. And I am very, very close to building a settlement on a new island, get those special victory points. But first, let's use mining, grab 4 ore, use the 2 wheat I have, and 3 of those ore. Let's get a second city out on the board. And now, if 4s get rolled, oh, it's going to be paper city. It's going to be, 6 wheat. And the off chance that 2 or 3 gets rolled, it's going to be coin coming my way. This is a very good setup here. So it pays off immediately. There goes the 6. And resource monopoly. So now I'm kind of hoping that I can get the robber off my 4, and then I can roll some lumber, and then maybe a resource monopoly, some sheep, build a bunch of ships, and discover that treasure chest on the 11 gold before I start to build on these treasure islands. Because I want my ships in one continuous line once I'm ready to start plopping down settlements. That way, later on, I'm in a prime position to take longest road. So a nice trade with purple. They benefit from it by building on the 5, 6, 11, but I'm in a better position to do my thing here. Thankfully, no 7. I had 8 cards. I still don't have a city wall yet, so that should be in the cards, but I'm just so focused on the ships and the possible settlement that I have to hold off on the city wall for now. It could come back to bite me, could come back to haunt me, but we'll see. I do have resource monopoly, but should I use it this turn? I'm not sure. Because purple only has 3 cards, so the chance of them having 2 ore was good because I used it anyway, so I got 2 ore from each of them for a total of 4 ore. And I have merchant, so I could put merchant on ore and trade in for... I could have taken the Green Metropolis this turn by putting merchant on the ore hex, trading in 6 ore for 3 paper, and I also had a 4th paper, and that would have been the Green Metropolis right here on this turn. But I decided, let me up my production by building on the 348, maybe even putting a city on it later, because right now, purple does have the science bonus, but you see how far off they are. They need a bunch of 8s to be rolled. Our 4 shut down. They don't even have a city on the 4, so the 8 is their only source of paper, plus any trade-ins they do. but I think it's going to be a while before purple gets that green metropolis. Plus, I need to build out more roads. Oh, we're going to 16 victory points, actually. My mistake from earlier. But if I can get that longest road from red later on in the game, I think that's going to be more valuable by holding red back a little bit in victory points rather than taking the green metropolis from, let's say, if purple gets it, because they're only at 4 victory points, so they're not that big of a threat yet. That's not to say they could be a huge threat later on in the game, but by then I should be at a point where I could build maybe the blue metropolis, because I see that red is already at the politics bonus. If I could sneak in there, take the blue metropolis from the, more of a threat player, which is red, then that would be good. But then red just uses trade monopoly, steals a paper from each of us. Presumably the science bonus will be coming their way, which would give every player the science bonus, so an equal advantage. And red also, okay, there goes merch. I was wondering what their progress cards were. So they have merch that's coming out. I get it stolen from, so I no longer have that 2-for-1 trade from ore. Yep, there goes the science bonus. And now the green metropolis is up for grabs by anyone, really. And there goes the 8 that purple needed, so they're going to get some paper and lumber. And I do get a brick. So I did build on an 8. I would have had science bonus had I not built an 8, so maybe it's going to be better for me if I get a city on that 834, so I can at least double my brick production. Also, I see that red is not yet built on the brick port, so if I really wanted to, I could try to sneak in there on the other side of that 6 week, grab the brick port from them. But I think the name of this game is to just see if I can start building on those special islands by starting off on the 11 gold. But first I gotta move one of my ships over and then build one more ship to that treasure chest, because that treasure chest could be 2 more roads or ships to build for free, which would be really helpful, but we'll see what happens. And there goes a 7 from red, and I'm presumably getting shut down. Yep, right on the 4. There goes my coin, but I don't think they have 4. They only have 3 cards. They definitely don't have 4 coins, so thankfully they won't get the blue metropolis this turn. But you see how close they are. They still have longest road. They're in a prime position to get either one of 2 metropolises, and that's why I'm hoping that purple takes the green one, and then maybe I can come in there and take the blue one. But my production right now, I have 1 wheat to my name, so I'm hoping for some better dice rolls here. A 3, 4 is my best number right now because I have 2 different 4s, and that would give me 6 cards. But a 3 is also not bad because it would give me a lumber, a coin, and an ore. And I roll the 8, so there goes a brick. And so I have a brick and a wheat, but I really want a lumber and a sheep, so I will chase away the robber, put it right on that 10. And thankfully, red has a lumber for me, so I'll reactivate my knight. I'll move my ship, and I am 1 sheep away from discovering that treasure chest, and then we can move on to the next phase of this game. So we're a little over halfway at this point to hopefully ultimate victory. Science bonus, of course I'm taking that sheep. As I see, red and purple both get a sheep off the 9. And there is another 9 at the bottom of your screen if I move the screen back down. Yep, it was a paper. So red basically got a ship and a paper off that roll. Okay, they build the settlement on the 3 brick. They discover, it's a water hex. So they went up to 10 victory points by building on the 3 brick. They already built on the 10 wheat desert island. They discover a 2 sheep. So it is another island, which is going to give them 2 more victory points upon building a settlement. But thankfully, it's only a 2 and it's only a sheep. So that's not the end of the world. If it was like a 5 gold or maybe even a 6 gold, then we would have been in big trouble. But thankfully, purple comes through. They have just enough cards. They rolled the 8 on their turn, so they probably got the 4th paper they needed. So they built the green metropolis. They're at 6 victory points. There goes an 11. I do have the 11, but I don't have the 11 gold. but that's about to change very soon. Okay, so red has 11 roads. I have 7. There's an 8th road, but then I'm gonna move them around. Okay, so I get 2 resources of my choice off of that 11 or off of that treasure chest. So I could try to save them to build the settlement, but I was like, maybe I'll build another settlement on the main island to continue my production, to continue to increase it. If I build on the pair of 3s and the 10, then that could help me out later in the game, especially if I get Alchemist, Because with Science Bonus, you either want your number to be rolled and you have you're going to get at least 3 or 4 cards off of that number, or you want to have a number roll that's not your number and not a 7, so you can use Science Bonus to get the exact card you need. If you build like with the 8 brick I built on, and then 8s are getting rolled, and I'm just getting a single brick off 8 every time, that's really not super helpful. So that's why build on a good number, but then upgrade that settlement to a city when you can. So that way it's more beneficial to you later on in the game. So it's kind of hard in Treasure Islands because you're trying to take longest road because you know it's going to be such a big part of this scenario, and you're building out all these settlements, but at the same time you can't forget to build upwards, build up your cities and metropolises, because those are what you're going to lean on so much throughout this game in terms of production, progress cards, those extra victory points they bring. So you're trying to battle, 2 things. You're on 2 fronts. You got to try to find the balance so you can kind of do it all. And now I have irrigation in my hand. I will wait for red to burn some cards, steal a card from them, of course, because they're already at double-digit victory points. But irrigation is going to bring me 4 wheat. And I will put the pirate ship down here, just so that red can't as easily get over to that those 3 fog hexes on the bottom of the board. And with Inventor, was this a good Inventor swap? I'm giving away a 3 and taking back my 9, so I can hopefully get some more coin going from my ore hex, and hopefully take the blue metropolis before red does, because that'll put me up to 9 victory points. I don't want them going up to 12 so soon, because we're only going to 16, and you know that sometimes 4-point plays can happen in a single turn. So I will go ahead, build the settlement on the 11 gold. I'll go from 7 to 9 victory points. I'll grab irrigation to activate my knights. And we are still looking good so far. Now, if purple does build the settlement on the 8 lumber with the 3-for-1 port, then I think they're going to get back in this game, because from that settlement, they can cast off, build some ships down to the fog hexes below that 3-for-1 port, and build on those before red can get over to them, get the special victory points from them, and they might be a possible contender for winning this game later on. That's why I said don't sleep on purple, because early on, they didn't have any ships. They still don't have any ships, built off the main island, but now they're getting into a position where they can be able to do that, because they've had Science Bonus for a while. Obviously, I have had it the longest, but they've had it for a while. Plus, they're getting all these green progress cards just like I am. You see, they just use irrigation. And they have weddings, so I got to give them even more wheat, because I want to hold on to my other cards, because I want to be able to build a settlement on that 4 wheat to go up to 11 victory points. And of course, you can only build 5 settlements on the board at a time. And at a crazy choice, red decides to leave. I don't know if it was bad connection or if they just decided to leave, but they were winning the game, and they leave. I'm not sure why, but I would have stuck it out. Of course, it could have been poor connection issues. You never know. My app was messing up on me a couple days ago. I was stuck in like this rejoin loop, where this game that I actually wasn't even able to finish. I was at 12 victory points on the first island in Cities and Knights, and a few other players were at 11. I think the fourth player was at 10, and then the game just it did like a rejoin, but then it froze, and I could not finish the game to see who won. And every time I went back to open the app again to go play a new game, it kept trying to put me back in that old game. So yeah, rejoin loop sucks, but thankfully I went on the Catan forums, and they said after 48 hours, your app automatically resets. So that's why I'm back to bringing you more Catan Universe Cities and Nights videos. But anyways, Red, you're at 10 victory points. Your computer is just going to mess it all up for you. That's all I'm saying. Now it's between me and Purple, essentially. You know, every once in a while, a computer will sneak in and grab the win. But at this point, you know, most human players can play better than the computers. It's just a fact. So there goes a 6 roll. That's a good cards for Red, but they're a computer, so we'll see what they do. If they get the blue Metropolis, then it's going to be hard to, you know, take them down. It's going to be up to taking Longest Road away from them to make sure that the computer doesn't run away here with a win. There goes a 7. Will Purple shut me down, or will they shut the computer down? Probably the human player. They'll shut us both down, but they'll take from me. Yep, so I get my lumber taken. But I have Alchemist. And Alchemist is probably going to be used for a 4. Because that's going to allow me to build the settlement on the 4 wheat, plus get some paper. I don't really see myself taking the green Metropolis, but it could happen. You never know. As Purple discovers a 4 ore and a treasure chest, and then they discover a 10 gold. So that's why I said don't write Purple out of this game, because once they build on that 410 spot, they'll be at 9 victory points, as they just did, and then on their next turn they'll move that other ship over to discover that next fog island hex, and then just go on from there. So I built on 1 treasure island so far. I'm about to build on the second one, and I'll probably even need to build on a third one to go ahead and put this game away for sure. And with Inventor, will my 9 get taken once again? Yep. Now it's a 10. And I think he put the 9. Yep, he put the 9 in that gold hex down at the bottom. So with Alchemist, it's always a 4. Of course, what other number would I want to roll with Alchemist? There goes the 4. I'm going to get 6 cards off of 4. If I had built on that 4 wheat, I would have gotten 7 cards. But that's okay. There goes the settlement right now. Now I'm at 11. I am finally in the lead. I do have Crane. So if I can get some more, if I get another 4 roll, then I could definitely match Purple for Green City Improvements and then be in a position to steal that Metropolis. But we'll just have to see how it plays out. If 8s keep getting rolled a good amount, then Purple will probably put away the Green Metropolis forever. But I'm going to go ahead and, with my Crane, match Purple at level 4 Green City Improvements and put all the pressure on them to try to get to level 5 before me. And my 6 is shut down, so I will grab Science bonus. I'll take a sheep. And then Saboteur just has to come in and, you know, screw everything up. Thanks, computer, for that. And the computer has level 3 on every city improvement, so Metropolis is probably coming their way soon. And Purple rolls a perfect 8 they needed, so they get some more paper. They do have 10 cards, so we'll see what they do. Okay, so they move the ship, discover a 5 ore. Look at that setup. A 4 ore, a 9 gold, and a 5 ore. Talk about a crazy powerful treasure island at the bottom of the screen. All of mine have just been kind of unless that hex next to the 4 wheat on the right side of the screen is actually something good. So I roll a 10. I wanted to roll a 4, but, you know, that's okay. I'll build another road. Now I'm matched with Red in road length. 1 more road, I'll connect up. Constitution just went to, I think it just went to Red, so now they're matched with me in victory points. So if I build 1 more road, I'll connect up my road systems. I'll jump up to 14 road length for longest road. That'll put me at 13 victory points. And then beyond that, I can build another settlement on the next The only remaining undiscovered treasure island. That'll put me up to 15 victory points and we'll be oh so close to winning. But now purple has completely taken over that 495 island. And there, one more ship, they'll discover another treasure chest. There goes another 8 for purple. They're just getting everything they need. But thankfully, I did get road building. So now we're going to make some more moves. I do have enough ships left in the inventory to build out to this next hex. And then the final undiscovered treasure island. There goes a 6 brick. But I'm not going to build on it because I want to go build down to the remaining treasure island, build on that for the special victory point. So we'll try to do that later. But for now, we'll get the politics bonus. So now we match the computer for blue city improvements. So I am 4 coin away from 15 victory points because I also took longest road that turn. But what will purple do? They're rolling 9. Okay, so they have a gold hex. I think they get 2 gold off that. I think they have 2 settlements down there. Plus they got the sheep off the 9. They have 3 progress cards in their hand. If they go ahead and try to upgrade their green city improvements to level 5, that'll be good because they'll be focused on that. And I can continue to try to get that blue metropolis and then another city or settlement to put this game away. But they get mining and all those ore hexes they were built on. I think they're built on 3 of them. So that's 6 ore. Now they have 18 cards and wow, they're probably going to have a really good turn right here. I know they're not going to take longest road, but they're probably going to at least build maybe 2 cities this turn. There goes 1. So now they're at the 11 victory points. They still have 11 cards. Okay, there goes another ship. They discover that treasure chest. They grab a wheat and something. Maybe they grab 2 resources off that treasure chest. Oh, they traded in paper, so I know they're not going for level 5. So they're probably banking on the fact that I don't have any paper, which they're absolutely right on. They throw down a second city in the same turn, go up to 12 victory points. Now they have a city and a settlement on the 9 gold. It is too little too late for them, I think, to take the blue metropolis, but all those ore hexes they have, a 4, a 10, and a 5 ore hex, all the potential for all that coin is just insane. But it's too little too late. I get engineer. Come on, man. Of all the cards to get this late in the game, engineer. So now I can hold more cards in my hand, but I just want to build just a couple more things. The barbarians are about to invade, and of course purple is leading in knight strength. So now Defender Catan is playing a critical role this late in the game. And look at that, purple gains a victory point from Defender of Catan, matches me at 13 victory points. And I slept on purple at the beginning of the game. I was like, you know what? They're not a threat. They could be later on. And here we are. They're tied with me, maybe even going to take the lead on their turn right here. There goes a 10, so we both get coin. Okay, so I got 2 coin. They may have 2 coin, but I'm still ahead in city improvements. They're at level 2 blue city improvements. If they don't take any of my coin, I have a chance here. Or maybe the computer will take the blue metropolis. It's hard to say. There goes a 6. My 6 is open this time. And I do have Warlord, plus I can build a city out on the board. So I think I have to win before the barbarians invade once again, because if the barbarians invade, purple will most likely get another Defender of Catan victory point, and then they could build on that last undiscovered treasure island, and that'll be the 3 victory points they need to win. There goes a 5. There goes all the wheat in the world, plus some ore and coin to purple. I just am stuck with science bonus, but I do have alchemists, so that is going to be so crucial next turn. And there's a metropolis, and the blue metropolis goes to red. Wow. Look at how close this game has just become, just like that. So even though it's a computer, Red is still making moves this game. They have the Blue Metropolis. They're at 12 victory points. They could even take the Yellow Metropolis, go up to 14 victory points. And I think that actually might be the computer's next move. All those sixes have been bringing in so much cloth, not only to purple, but also to red. Wow, it's close. It's very close. Purple's at 14 now. They activated all their knights. Man, if the barbarians were like 2 or 3 spaces closer, this would be so neck and neck, so hair-raising, but they're just far enough out of reach where I think they can't do it. And purple actually builds the settlement on the 5 ore. So, and they still have 5 cards and 2 progress cards in their hands, so either they didn't realize they could build one more ship to the new treasure island and build the settlement there, because that would have been the win for them right there had they done that. And now I'm trying to figure out what the role of the alchemist, because now coin is not going to help me out, because red already took the Blue Metropolis, so I got to figure out something else here. I'm going to try to build one more ship and a settlement to that treasure island that's still undiscovered, build on that, and that should be my win. But with my 4 shut down, I'm in a crucial spot, because it'll still give me 4 wheat, but if the 4 lumber wasn't shut down, I would have won. I would have won on this turn. So I'll roll the 4 anyway. I know ore and coin goes to purple, but red already took that Blue Metropolis. So close, yet so far. I have to hope that this treasure island brings me something good. It is a lumber, but I don't have a brick port. I don't have merchant on brick, so I can't trade in 2 brick for the 1 sheep I need. I also can't trade in 2 coin because I don't have the trade bonus for the sheep I need. So I'm so close. I could lose this game. I have longest road. I have a metropolis. I built all over this board, and purple is barely ahead in victory points. They could beat me on the next turn, because I think all they need to do, well, they already built all 4 of their cities, so they cannot upgrade one of their settlements to another city, because all 4 of their cities are out on the board. So they have to find another way to do it. They have to build, let's see, they have 3 settlements. They do have 2 settlements left over that are not on the board, but they'd have to build at least another road or another ship off of the road system to be able to have a spot for another settlement out on the board. They have 10 cards. Can they do it? If they can't do it on this turn, you see the barbarians are just about to invade, but they're thankfully still 1 space away. And purple actually builds a knight and activates it, but they were already ahead in knight strength, and they get the politics bonus, so maybe they actually could not build the road in the settlement, because that was the win for them right there. So they're probably hoping that I can't win the game on my turn if I usher in the barbarians, because if I usher in the barbarians, that's going to put purple to 16 victory points. And if I have to pass the dice, then all purple has to do is roll on their turn and win. So if I don't roll a 7, and I don't, it's a 6. So I get all the cards that I need to trade in, plus I get irrigation for the cherry on top. And I do have, let's count, 1, 2, 3 settlements out on the board, so I have 2 left over in reserve. This is perfect. I have more than enough wheat off that irrigation. And just for fun, I'll grab enough cards for another ship before I build the settlement. And it's a water hex, so I get 2 resources of my choice. The settlement goes out, 16 victory points, and that is the win by a narrow margin. Basically, all purple had to wait for was the barbarians to come in, get the victory point, and they would have been out of here with a win. Usually, I'm the one that is losing by a turn, but this time, it's purple that's losing by a turn, an opponent. So sometimes it does work out. But yeah, let me guys know, was that a big risk to build on a shoreline hex and immediately build a ship out? Or can that sometimes be a good strategy? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and take care.